Exactly. All right.
Good morning. This is cause number 2016-13182 in the interest of Christiane Tegan and Madeline Gaitan. All parties that are present, please raise your right hand and be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Ms. Chavez.
Yes.
Oh, this is the fall bush, Your Honor. I apologize. This
Ms.
is the
Fallbush. Okay.
Yes.
Gayton fall bush.
Okay. Ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the children.
Stephanie D. Fallbush. I'm their mother.
Okay, and for the state?
Jacqueline Adeyemi.
Court will note that the non-custodial parent is Miguel Gaitan. It appears that Mr. Gaitan was present on May 14th, and he signed a reset order setting this matter for hearing today. He was further given a notice of the Zoom hearing by certified mail, which was delivered August 20th, 2020. He's not checked in. Is that correct, Ms. Adeyemi?
That is correct, Your Honor.
We will then proceed by default.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I call my first witness, Ms. Stephanie?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Fallbush, who is the father of the children?
Miguel Gayton.
Okay. And in the last 2 years, have you filed a protective order or a police report against Mr. Gayton?
Yes.
Okay. And are you asking that the court have a non-disclosure and flag this case as family violence?
Yes.
Okay. Also, because of these facts, are you asking that the court appoint you as the managing conservator and appoint Mr. Gayton as the possessory conservator?
Yes.
Okay. And does Mr. Gayton visit with the children?
No.
Okay. Are you asking that visitation be set in a protective setting?
Yes.
Are you asking that the court set the visitation at the domestic relations office?
Yes.
And are you aware that there is an initiation fee of $75 and a visitation fee of $35 that is to be covered by Mr. Gayton?
Yes.
Okay. Currently, do you know if Mr. Gayton is working?
No.
Okay. And does he have any other children that live with him or he's on child support for under the age of 18?
No.
Okay. And in the last 4 years, has Mr. Gayton lived with you?
Yes.
And when did he stop living with you?
May 2019.
Okay. And since May 2019, has Mr. Gayton given you any money directly?
No.
Has he been incarcerated?
Yes.
Okay. And so we are asking the court to take a judgment against Mr. Gayton in the amount of $5,088.05 for child support. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you want him to pay that off at $76 a month starting the first day of November 2020. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you're also asking that a medical support judgment be taken against him in the amount of $2,201.44. Is that correct?
Yes.
And he paid that off at $62 a month. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And how are the children covered for medical insurance?
CHIP.
Okay. And so you're asking for a child support payment of $315 a month and a medical support payment of $88 a month, all starting the 1st of November, 2020. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, the state rests.
All right, the court will approve the order as submitted. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Gayton,
Yeah.
you can hang up and you already have your order. Thank you for your participation.
Okay, that's it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. It's a double default, or?
No, the custodial parent on my case is present. Her name is Rachel Nelson. Should be logging in soon.
And we've got Isaac Chavez? No, this is the mother, right?
I think Maria labeled the name incorrectly. That is the mother, Rachel Nelson.
All right, this is, good morning. This is cause number 2016-70186 in the interest of Isaac Chavez. Ma'am, please raise your right hand to be sworn. Miss Nelson, please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, you need to unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Her name is Rachel Nelson, and I'm the mother of Isaac and Cariana Chavez.
All right, and for the state?
Koya Armstrong, representing the Office of the Attorney General.
Court will note that Cesar Chavez is the non-custodial parent. Mr. Chavez was served on March 4th, 2020 at 6:45 a.m. at 701 North San Jacinto Street in Houston, Harris County, Texas. All right, I lost it here. There it is. He did not file an answer. Is that correct, Ms. Armstrong?
That's correct. No answer was filed. We also sent him additional notice through certified mail as well.
All right, court will also note that Mr. Chavez was served notice of today's Zoom hearing by certified mail, which was delivered August 20th, 2020. He is not checked in. Is that correct, Ms. Armstrong?
That is correct. He is not checked in.
We'll proceed by default.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to call my first witness, Rachel Nelson. Hello,
All
ma'am.
right.
You?
Um,
Good. And you and Mr. Chavez have children together, is that correct?
yes, ma'am.
And what is the name of the newest baby y'all have together?
Cariana Chavez.
Okay. Now, Isaac Chavez is the older child that y'all have together, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
But we already have a child support order for Isaac we did back in 2017.
Yes, ma'am.
And now we're requesting the court to add Cariana to the order with her brother Isaac, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, who is the father of Cariana?
That's Sir Anthony Chavez.
Is it possible anyone else could be the father of her?
No, ma'am.
And are you aware if Mr. Chavez is currently incarcerated?
No, he is not incarcerated.
Or if he's currently employed?
Yes, he is currently employed.
And what does he do for work?
He does construction, construction outside job houses and stuff like that.
And do you know, if you know, how much he makes on this job?
He makes approximately $550 a week. And, you know, if he works overtime, you know, but other than that, you know, minimum, you know, weekdays he works is $550.
And how do you know that he makes $550 a week?
We still have a mutual relationship regards to the children, and he conversates with me, you know, like, you know, finances with me and why he cannot financially, you know, give me any type of money right now, so forth on that. So that's how I know.
Okay. Now, based on the $550 a week, we did calculate how much the current child support should be for 2 children, did we not?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And I'm requesting the court to set child support at $375 per month based on that income.
Yes, ma'am.
Agreement with the child support of $375 per month.
Yes, ma'am.
And you agree that that will start November 1st of 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
And then I also calculated how much the child support will go down once one child became an adult. Is that correct?
Yes.
And we said it would go down to $290 per month.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're okay with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how do you have the children covered through insurance?
Right now they're covered by the state of Texas Medicaid.
Okay. All right. And we calculated based on his income that he would pay $107 per month for that Medicaid program. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you in agreement with that amount?
Yes, ma'am.
And that payment will also begin November 1st of 2020, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, are you requesting back child support, what we call the retroactive child support for the new baby?
Yes, ma'am.
And we calculated about 15 months of back child support that you would be awarded in this case. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And we gave him credit for the 1 month he was in jail during that last 15 months. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
And it still gave us a total of $3,180 in retroactive child support. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to award you that much of retroactive child support for the new baby?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, was he also behind on his child support arrears for Isaac?
Yes, ma'am. He hasn't paid me a penny yet.
And he was behind $10,882.94 as of yesterday's date. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And I was able to add the retro for the new baby to the arrears for Isaac and come to a total. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm requesting that the court take a total child support judgment against Mr. Chavez in the amount of $14,062.94.
Yes, ma'am.
And are you agree that that number is correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you okay if I ask the court to have him pay $125 per month towards that judgment?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you okay with that also beginning November 1st of 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, was Mr. Chavez also behind on his medical support payments on the Isaac order?
Yes, ma'am.
And that amount was $738.64 as of yesterday's date?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to take that medical support judgment against Mr. Chavez as well?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you okay with the $25 a month payout for that judgment?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you okay with that payment also beginning November 1st of 2020? Are you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Now let's talk a little bit about your previous order. You had visitation, I'm sorry, Mr. Chavez had visitation through the Domestic Relations Office for Isaac, supervised.
Yes.
Okay. Are you asking the court to continue the supervised vision for the new baby as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, can you tell the court a little bit about the reason for you wanting the supervised visits again for this baby?
We've had a domestic relationship, you know, and he's had he's been incarcerated for it. And for the sake being, I do like to meet publicly, or if it's, somewhere in that facility, comes to that point again, we're okay at this point, but if it comes to that point, we'll have it set up and I don't have to go back and forth with him on it regardless.
Perfect. Thank you, Ms. Nelson. Thank you, Ms. Nelson. Now, when was the last time that was he ever charged with domestic violence?
Yes, he was just charged recently, February, end of January, February, in 2020 with the same, it was a misdemeanor assault to family member,
And who was the family member?
myself.
Okay, so if Mr. Chavez were to have your address, could that possibly pose any potential harm or harassment to yourself?
Yes, because right now we have communication through an app right now.
Perfect. Okay.
You have what? I'm sorry.
We have our communication through an app.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you. Now, if Harris County were to charge one of you for court costs, should they charge you or Mr. Chavez for those court costs?
Mr. Chavez.
Okay. All right, I pass the witness, Your Honor. And the state rests.
All right, the court will approve. The order is read into the record, and you will submit the order, Ms. Armstrong?
I will by the end of the day. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. May we be dismissed?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Nelson, log back into the other Zoom where we were before. And I'll meet you over there, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pull it up over here. Right? Let's see. Where is?
I haven't pulled it up.
Oops.
Just X out of that.
Deeds. All right, this is cause number 2017-46316 in the interest of Kevonte Faria. Ma'am, you need to unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. This is Chiquita Hinnix.
Okay. Please raise your right hand to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, please state your name and your relationship to the child.
My name is Chiquita Lachey Hinnix, and I'm Kevonte Ferrier's mother.
Okay, and for the state?
Marcella Turner.
Court will note that Kevin Faria personally served on September 2nd, 2020 at 10:57 a.m. at 7302 Alabasan Road, apartment 1611 in Houston, Harris County, Texas. He has not filed an answer. Is that correct, Ms. Turner?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
We'll proceed by default.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
At this time, the state would ask that the court take judicial notice of the prior court order signed on January 11th, 2018, where Mr. Feria was ordered to pay $0 in child support and cash medical support, each of those to begin $0, I'm sorry, each of those to begin February 1st of 2018.
Okay.
In addition to that, on that date, I'm sorry, at this time, Ms. Hennix. Ms. Hennix, are you asking this court to take a judgment on the arrears on this case from the prior court order in the amount of $5,316.25 as of September 30th of 2020?
Yes.
And to your knowledge, is Mr. Feria currently employed?
I'm not sure. Yes.
I'm sorry, what was the answer? Was it yes or you're not sure? To your knowledge, is he currently working, or do you have any information in regards to his income?
Unemployment benefits?
Okay. And outside of those benefits, are you aware of whether or not he's working?
No, ma'am.
To your knowledge, does Mr. Feria have any other children other than this child under the age of 18 that he has a child support obligation for, or that lives in his home?
No, ma'am, I'm not sure.
And is there private medical or dental insurance available for the child before this court as of right now?
Yes, yes. Medicaid?
Are you asking this court to to order $50 in cash medical support to begin November 1st of 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking this court to order current child support in the amount of $218 to begin November 1st of 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
And in your prior order, is it a correct statement to state that there was a non-disclosure finding in that order?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Say it again, please. I apologize.
In your prior order, was there a non-disclosure finding where your address was kept confidential in that order?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking this court to order that that non-disclosure continue and that your address remain confidential in this order as well?
Yes, ma'am.
And why is that?
Kevin Ferry has attempted to kill me previously. He has threatened since he's been home to do it again, as well as threatened my fiance to kill him as well.
And are you asking this court to approve this default?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you believe this order to be in the best interest of your child?
Yes, ma'am.
No further questions for this witness. I'll pass the witness. At this time, Your Honor, the state would also like the record to reflect that in the prior court order signed on January 11th of 2018, Mr. Ferrier was also, there was also a retroactive child support judgment in the amount of $8,775 that was entered on that day. However, no payout was set on that judgment, which is how there are arrears on this case.
So we have cumulative arrears of how much?
The arrears as of yesterday's date, September 30th, they are now at $5,316.25, and the state is asking the court to enter a judgment in that amount in order of payout of $80 each month to begin November 1st of 2020.
All right, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you.
Thank you. May we be excused?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Hennix, that's it. So the copy, oh, let me wait for a second. We're still on live.